Good morning. Welcome to another video tutorial. This is Sandy Reese with Stampacrew.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. And this week I have been featuring retiring floral stamp sets. And I am very sad to see this one go. It's called Daisy Lane. Now we've had this in the catalog for a while, for actually quite a while. We've had the daisy, both these daisy punches. Now this daisy punch is retiring, the big one. We are keeping the small one, so we will still have that for at least another year. So it's nice to know we still have some daisy punch, but I'm gonna miss this one. I will hold on to it so I won't miss it personally, but I'm going to miss using it in class. So let us get started. So these are the pieces we're going to use today. We're starting with a Bumblebee card base. Now Bumblebee is one of our colors that is retiring. I will be sad to see that go. I really like that one. Then we have a piece of soft suede, basic white, and I have a little piece of this, is it Sweet Symmetry Designer Series paper, which is one of our retiring products. Now I love our designer paper, and all those big, beautiful prints always draw me in, but for some reason I tend to use the other side of the paper. I just love the nice quiet patterns because they're great just for adding a little bit of texture. Okay, so let us start with stamping a couple of daisies, and then we're going to punch those out. So I'm stamping, I just have some scrap paper here. Let's see if I can fit this on. I'm just gonna stamp, I can only fit one daisy on each piece. I believe in using scraps. All right, now I want to use a blender pen, and I'm just gonna very quickly kind of blend in the color on the petals. And this gives it less of a lined look and more of a realistic look. I like this. I love my blender pens. So we have a class later this month. I'm doing a class on the soft pastels. So we will have an in-person class. I also have kit to go options if you are interested. Just sign up for my newsletter. I'll post a link below so that you don't miss out if you would like to order a class to go. All right, I'm going to clean this really quickly because then I want to stamp the center with some soft suede. So I have this extra piece. I just need the center. I don't need the whole flower. All right. And I'll use my blender to just kind of color that in. You know what? I want a little more color on that. I'm going to take, I have a little ink right here. I want to add just a little more darkness to my center. This is more like a Black-Eyed Susan, I guess, than a daisy. Okay, I think that's good. All right, let's take our punch and punch these out. Hold on, I need to hold on them. Hold on to them from this end. Let's cut that corner off so I can get my punch in there a little better. Okay, there's one. And so our punch is designed with the leaf, the center leaves going up and down, and I stamped it off center, so I have to turn a little bit to get my punch on there. Let's see. There we go. Got to get it just right. Okay, I'm going to take this one and I'm just going to cut out the center from here. I could have punched it and then cut it out, but might as well just cut out the whole thing. I just don't want any white showing. All right, I'm going to take one of my Stampin' Pierce mat and I need the other end of my pick tool, but do I know where that is? Probably not. So what I really want, hold on, let me grab my bucket of tools here. What I really want is a stylus, and I'm just going to kind of push on the back of this. And that's going to make it a little more rounded. So it gives it a little more funky dimension. You're like, how did they do that? How does that look so rounded? Isn't that cool? Okay. All right, those are ready. Let's go ahead and assemble our flower. I'm going to use some dimensionals. And I like to alternate my petals. Just like that. Let's see if we can fit a dimensional, whoops, behind here. Give it a little support on that roundness. And just stick that right in the middle of our daisy. Cute! Okay, then to make our daisy to come to life, we are going to gently curl all the leaves. I'm not pulling hard. I am just kind of bending with my thumb and my bone folder. Okay, and then I'm going to take and bend them all up right at the center. Just like that. So easy and cute. Okay, so what I want to do here, I'm going to stamp a couple, not so much the leaves, but I'm going to do this pretty fern, and I'm going to use Pear Pizzazz. Now, we used Pear Pizzazz for a lot of blending this weekend, or this past class that I had, and it's a little bit light. So if you stamp, you can see that it's very light. So I need to re-ink. Now, some of you may not know how to re-ink. I'm going to show you so you don't have any problems. When I re-ink, I gently squeeze and just go across my ink pad like this, and then I turn it this way and do the same thing. So I'm just gently squeezing as I go. It will just soak right in. If you feel like you need another pass, you can do it one more time, just gently. And this soaks right in. If you want, you can take your tip. It depends on the ink pad. You might see it sitting, you might see the lines. I don't even see the lines on this. They also recommend that you can take your bone folder and spread it in. I don't do that because to me, that's messy. That's just too messy, and I've seen my bone folders turn different colors, so I don't do that. I re-ink it like that, set it aside. If it's not as dark as you want, you can re-ink it again, and usually just give it a few minutes for the color to kind of soak into the foam. But then when I go to stamp, if I want to stamp right away, I just kind of move it around a bit and tap gently, and then stamp again. It's so much better. So much better. Okay, so that is how I re-ink. Do not use the whole bottle to re-ink your pad. That is not what it is meant to do. This bottle should last you through probably, I've re-inked some pads and 20 times, and I still have ink left. So that should last a long time. All right, we are going to stamp a couple of leaves. I'm going to stamp one going that way, and then flip it, and we'll do one going up that way. That's all we need. And then I'm going to stamp the word smile. This is one of the sentiments. We've got smile, friend, it's your time to shine, the best moments in my life happen with you. I'm going to do the word smile. Hopefully I'll get this straight. That's a nice general sentiment. It's just good for anything. All right, now I want to stamp one more thing. I want to stamp one more flower. I've got to clean this because it has brown. I don't want a brown flower. I want one more bumblebee flower. This is just going to add a little more depth. Oh, I've got a string in there. I've got to clean that off. A little more depth to our flower we're going to attach. But I'm just going to give it a little bit of a base there. All right. And then the last thing, I've got a lot of white, so I'm going to add a little bit of texture. I'm taking my soft suede blender pen. Which color is this? This is dark soft suede. I'm going to pull off my brush tip end here, and I'm going to just whack it on a block. And that gives it just a little bit of a spatter texture. Here, I'll hold that up. Can you see that? It just adds more texture. I love doing that. Okay. So let's do assembly. I want to make sure that's dry. Okay, before I stick it on, because I don't want smudging. I hate it when smudging happens. Okay. We're going to layer this on the soft suede, and measurements will be on my blog if you want them. Okay. I'll put this, I'm just going to kind of set it over on this side. I don't want it right in the middle. Okay. I'm going to put this down. I'm not going to pop this up because we're going to pop up our flower, and it's got plenty of dimension. All right, now I'm going to add a little embellishment. I'm taking some linen thread, and I'm going to tie a big loopy bow. Now, bow, not a bowl, a bow. This is curling more than I want it to. I don't want it to curl, so you can just pull it between your thumb and your finger to straighten it out, because that is more curl than I want. And I want big loops and tail. And I'll show you why in a second here. It may be too big, but we'll see. All right, let's cut this off. Make that a little straighter too. I want to adhere this to the back of my flower. So let's put one dimensional here. And then I'm going to stick my bow right in the middle of that. And we're going to pop this up right. I want to kind of rotate it enough where I can see some of those petals coming up from behind. Ooh, I like it. Okay, I'm going to trim this just a hair. And last touch, I want to add a couple of these polished, I don't know, brass butterflies. These are going to be, all right, I feel like it's a little wonky. Hold on, let's try this. Probably should have tried this the other way. Okay, let's rethink this. If something doesn't work, you got to rethink it. Okay, I'm going to use a little adhesive there. And I'm going to put my bow on with that adhesive and then put my dimensional because it wasn't wanting to stay. Okay, that's better. All right. And I want to put a couple of these polished, what I like to call them polished, brushed brass butterflies are going to be in the new catalog. So we get to have these for a whole year. I think they are so sweet. So, so sweet. Isn't that cute? So quick and easy. Well, it took a couple minutes, but you know, anything worth doing takes a couple of minutes, right? So I hope you enjoyed this. These stamp sets are only available in the punch while supplies last. So as of the filming of this video, they were both still in stock. So if you want to get these, I recommend you get them as soon as possible, or they might be sold out forever. I have a link below if you would like to purchase these, and I will see you back here on Thursday. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.